ladies and gentlemen. So, as I said a minute ago, Robin canceled on me last minute. She had something come up. It's okay. She's busy. She's doing this as a just free for us, so I can't be too mad about her giving us all that information. So, she said she can't do it next week. It might be the week after. It's okay. I had Eric scheduled for next week. Him and I are going to talk about investing. So, stick around for that if you're excited about it. Next thing is, so this is going to be very organic. Eric is out of town. And he just got some pictures back on some of his houses. And he called me. He's like, hey, man, can you do me a favor? I don't want to miss this weekend because that's when a lot of people like to come see houses. I don't want to miss this weekend. Can you throw them in the MLS for me? I was like, yeah, man, not a problem. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It was something I needed to do anyway. And I'm extremely ill prepared to do that. So you're going to see me literally walk through the entire process and how I find things and what I'm looking for. And it really doesn't take too long if you know what you're doing. And first game we're going to play, does anybody know what mountain that is behind me? Anybody? I did it for fun. And this is it's Camelback Mountain in Phoenix. It actually kind of splits Phoenix and Scottsdale. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I actually climbed that mountain with my wife on Christmas Eve. It was a lot of fun. They actually drag a Christmas tree up there on the top. And it was really funny because going up that mountain, I was like, come on, my brother-in-law, my sister, you know, we all grew up here in town, and she married a guy and moved out to Phoenix. And he is I want to say 4-time Ironman, maybe 5-time. He's run 5 Ironman. And he's like, yeah, man, you can climb that. No big deal. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in. And he was going to go with us. And the parking was so bad and it was just a hot mess. So he just dropped us off and he's like, just go, you'll be fine. And I'll be honest, it wasn't the end of the world. My wife was bitching like halfway through it. I'm dragging her up the mountain. I'm like, we're doing this. He's like, oh yeah, you can do it in like 2 or 3 hours. It took us 4. But it was really kind of cool. I've got some cool pictures from the top of that thing. So if you're ever out there, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, I've definitely done worse, but fun little thing if you're ever out there. I'm going there this weekend. My nephew's getting baptized. So I'm literally flying out Saturday morning. I'll be back Sunday night. So look it up.
Love that area.
Yeah, look it up if you're ever out there. At least we're getting out of the heat. Okay, so today, how to put something in the MLS with little to no preparation. You're definitely, so there's going to be a couple things that are a little bit different because this is an investment property of Eric's. It's going to be a little bit more rudimentary than we would necessarily do with the real big projects or anything like that, but you definitely do want to give it a good effort. Again, you have to remember when you put something into the MLS, you automatically populate it to a lot of different places. It goes to Zillow, Realtor, and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's going to see what we're doing right here. And we want to make sure that we do it right because any little slip up can actually make it look like a bad listing. And so you don't want to do that. I'll probably come back and, take a little bit more creative ease when I have a minute to think about it. But like I said, this is going to be last minute. So this is actually 100% how you put a listing in there. So I am going to share my screen with you guys. And I want to show you my entire desktop. So everybody see my desktop now? Wonderful. Thank you so much. If you ever see me kind of wander around a little bit, it's because I'm trying to move stuff because it's got all y'all's pictures and everything in here, so it gets a little frustrating. So first things first, before you can list anything, you need to do a handful of things. The first thing you need to do is take professional photos. So Eric had professional photos taken. They came in yesterday, and we're going to be putting this up. I think it's a great little flip. This thing's super cute. But you need to have professional photos. You cannot do this quickly if you do not already have photos. I will also say this, Eric, as an investor, it is prudent for us to try and save as much money as possible. We do not cut corners when it comes to photos, guys. You can get photos taken. Very, very simple thing to do. You need to go out and find a professional photographer. There's a couple of apps that I like to use when I'm looking for professional photographers. If you don't already have one, I'm trying to think of the name of the app right now. Sorry. Thumbtack. That's the name of the app. So what's nice about Thumbtack is you can hire people to do anything you want. You don't have to download the app. I have the app because I'm usually thinking about it when I'm somewhere. So you just go into photography and you can search exactly hire a pro. real estate photographers, 78248. I don't know where it got that from, but it doesn't matter. So boom, right here, it shows all the guys and exactly what they charge. It is okay for you to go in here and say, hey, look, Skyline Photography. I've used this guy before, actually. My location. Do I need drone photography? That's always very helpful if you have a lot of land or something really cool on the property. Most of the time I don't do that. Photo type, interior, exterior, whatever it is, and tell him. And the cool thing is when you go through all of this, it's going to send it to him and he's going to say, hey, look, I noticed that you have a budget of whatever, typically only for small jobs, $200 to $300. I see that you need photos of the interior, exterior, and all that stuff. But when you're done, it says, hey, do you want to send it, that exact quote, to some other people? And it'll pop up these other people in there. And so you can send that thing out to like 4 or 5 people and they all come back and quote you. And then you can take the best. And guys, remember, you're hiring somebody. You can ask them for, can I see some of your other photos? Have you ever shot photos in this area? Have you ever worked with investors? Have you ever worked with this? Have you ever worked with high-end property? Okay. All of that can come up. And it's the same thing for a videographer. You can do that too, right? Real estate video production. I mean, it's all in here, and I really like this because you can send it out. You can explore new people. It's great. I don't know where Eric got these photos from. All I know is I've got photos, so that's great. The second thing that you're going to want to do before you start punching things in the MLS is you need to go measure the rooms. Eric called me yesterday when I was out driving around. I said, yeah, not a problem, man. And I jumped into my car. I was driving, and I was kind of near at least this one. And so I ran over there and I measured the rooms. So, and I paid attention to what's going on in the house. I should have had some other things with me, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I just didn't have it with me. The way I measure rooms is with an app called Room Scan Pro. This thing is super slick. What you do is you go through there, and I use that by touching walls, and you literally walk to this wall and put your phone on the wall and wait a half second, your phone will buzz. Then you walk to this wall, wait a half second, the phone will buzz. And as you can see, you get like an entire floor plan. I don't actually make the floor plan because it kind of takes a little bit longer. I just say don't join rooms. But when I'm done, it tells me right here that this room is 12.8 square meters. Okay. It will also, I wonder if they have more photos in here. They really don't. I can't tell because this thing's in the way. It'll tell you per room. And it's great. I love it because it literally is room by room by room. And it'll give you the exact dimensions because in Sabor, they want to know the dimensions. Okay. The last thing that I would tell you guys to look for would be, let me see if I've got this in here. And I just didn't have one of these with me, but if you do not have one, here we go, is you need to have something to write down. Now, I didn't have this with me, so I took a lot of pictures so I would remember. But I'm going to get this put up on the website for you guys. I have this little form that I take with me. I don't know why it's rendering so weird right now. But which way does the home face? What year was it built? And I go fill all of this stuff out as we're going through it. As I walk the house, especially if I'm talking to a client, I'm going to be sitting here checking all of this off because you're going to see in a minute, it's very helpful to have all of this written down. Now, obviously, I did this on the fly, so I didn't have it written down, and I'm actually not going to submit it today until I talk to Eric because I want to make sure I saw what I saw because you don't want to put any false information in there, okay? So you need to write down what's going on with the house, and you'll see. So those are the 3 things you really need to do before you even get to this point that we're at right now. And the point that we're at right now is putting this into the MLS. So first things first. You're going to go into your MLS, log in, and you're going to go to listings up here and add a new listing. It's going to say, Colin, you were drafting one. That was for a video I did, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm just going to click add a new listing. I'm going to continue. All right. Step 1, single family residential. As y'all saw, you know, if it's a condo or whatever, you need to change that up. Number 2, how do you want to enter the listing data? Interesting question. When you put certain things in the MLS, they are considered to be true, and you need to explain how you got that information. The most popular is to get it from the tax data, okay? That is going to be the most popular way to do that because now the county is responsible for the square footage, for this, for that. If you change those numbers, you need to say, hey, I had a professional appraiser measure the house. We had this going on, whatever it is. you need to make sure that you account for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it from the tax data. You can pull it from a previous MLS listing. This is going to be a very bad idea because it has been renovated. Okay. Eric moved a wall. He did some other stuff. I don't want anything from that previous time in there, or I can manually list it all. The best thing I like to do is the tax data. So where do we get tax data? Anybody? Anybody? No? So any county that you're in, guys, the county is who taxes the property. You just type in that county, Bexar County Appraisal District. This is in Bexar County. And you're going to go to property search. You can click there or there, depending on how they're set up in Google. But it's really pretty easy. All I want to do is I want to look at the, where's the property search? They just changed their website. Oh, here it is. Property search. Okay. So the address on this house is 343 Cherrywood. So all I'm going to do is look that up, and I'm going to leave this up for a while. Cherrywood, I don't know if it's one word or two. Bingo. So 346 in Live Oak and 26 Flips owns the LLC. So this is where we get the data from it. So I'm going to go back to Sabor, and I'm going to put in the address, which is 343 Cherrywood, and it is in Bexar County. Oh, I can't see again because y'all are. Let me click next. Oh, is this it? Now, notice the difference here, guys. On Bexar County, it says the owner's name is 26 Flips. But from this data, which is obviously a little bit older, it's telling the previous one. I don't care right now. Yes, that is the one. Sometimes you'll have 3 or 4 that you need to kind of clean up. The one thing you will want to check is the CAM number. So this one ends in 0110. And if I go look at the CAM number over here, 0110. Okay. So yes, now I know I have the right house. And now it's going to explain to everybody else, like, yeah, I got the tax data from here. And it's going to fill in some gaps for you. So what's nice is I don't have to do the area. Okay. Sometimes you have to tell it what area of town it is. I don't have to do that because it knows that. It knows the MapsCo grid number. It knows the list. Well, it doesn't know the list price. I got to put that in. So Eric asked me to list this house at $239,999. Oops. Come on. Okay, street number, street direction. Guys, is it East Cherrywood, West Cherrywood, city, state, zip, county, blah, 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 blah. It's got all of that in there. Multiple county at tax numbers. No, this is in a single county. That tends to be in very rural places where you might get taxed from 2 separate counties. That happens if you have, if you go to school in one county and then, but the actual house is in another one. Sometimes that happens. Usually in the cities, that's not a big deal. And listing agent is me. So ta-da, we got, man, this little thing is, all right. So we got all of this wonderful stuff and we just hit save and continue. And I'm glad we got a couple ladies here to help me with some aesthetic stuff. Kevin, nothing against you, buddy, but I just don't think you're going to be able to help with it. All right, so type. It is a single family detached. Guys, if you don't remember what those are, go look at your book. Garden patio, you know, are the ones that have like 0 lot lines. Manufactured, modular. Difference between manufactured and modular the other way, by the way, guys, is manufactured means the house was built off-site and brought in. A modular home means the parts of the house, like the wall was built, like all 4 walls were built off-site, and then they come put it together on the land. So it's a little bit different. Townhomes are all connected. So look, it already has the legal description in here. So Live Oak Village, JD, is what came off the tax record. The common name, we're going to look that up because I don't really know. And we'll see what it says. What are my options here? Live Oak Village would be the common name. Okay. See how that was pretty simple for me? I just used the tax data. The legal descriptions already do. Instructions. If it's kind of tricky to get to, you want to put some instructions, guys, you can just use Google Maps. That's what I do a lot of time. A lot of times you can say, hey, head north on I-35, exit this, blah, 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 turn here. Next thing, home faces. That literally means what direction does the house face? So I'm going to go to Google Maps and I'm going to pull up the address, which is 343 Cherrywood. And I'm going to be moving this stuff all day long. 343 Cherrywood Lane. Now, why do you have to put this in here? I don't really know. I think it's because people are kind of weird about, like, I don't want the house raising up on the front side of the thing. So if we zoom in on the house right here, the front door is right here. And that is what they consider where the house faces. And I'll show you pictures in a minute. I just happen to remember this. So if we zoom out, we know that it's doing this way. The house is mostly facing southeast. Okay. So right here, I'm going to put the house faces southeast. All right. No big deal. 1968 is when the house was built. That is an interesting thing. So what happens if a house is built before 1978? Anybody?
Lead-based paint.
Thank you. Lead-based paint addendum. So I need to have Eric fill out a lead-based paint addendum. Okay, so that's important. You got to remember that as you see this. Next one, recent rehab. Anybody want to know? Yep, just got rehab. Some people, the reason why you put all of this stuff in, which I know it seems so crazy, but sometimes people are searching for a house that's move-in ready. And they're, as an MLS, as a realtor, you can go in the MLS and say, only send me houses that have recent rehab. Okay. This next one, how many square feet is the house? 1779. Guys, you need to know this. This needs to be in here. Obviously, the red dots are the ones that are mandatory, but some people will go in the search. I need a house that's 1,500 square feet or bigger. If you have a 0 in here, you're not going to come up in that search. Now, where did I get this data? Well, it came from the appraisal district. Okay, that's why you want to look it up that way. School district, Judson ISD. Notice you have these little stars saying this is mandatory. Oh my Jesus. I don't know what school it goes to. I have a good guess, but we need to look this up because some people are like, well, my kid goes to XYZ. I need to know. Some people are really lazy and you can go in here and I think it's like call district. Yeah, so you can click call district and just put that for every single one of them. I think that's lazy. It takes 2 seconds to figure this out, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to go, and all you have to do is go to the Judson ISD website. And again, I'm not real prepared. Like I said, this is off the fly, so we're going to figure this out together. And man, they just changed their website too. Families, maybe?
Hey, Colin.
Yes, ma'am.
I've heard that it's better to suggest the potential home buyer to reach out to the school district to confirm it.
I will do that. I will do
Okay.
that. Okay. But if somebody's searching for, because I think this one goes to Franz Elementary or Franz or however you say it, you're going to want to know that's where it goes.
Find your school.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
You're
thank
right.
you. Find your school. Search by street name. Cherrywood Lane. Boom. Franz Kitty Hawk Veterans Memorial. Okay. Veterans is that new high school they built. You know, maybe they're okay with going to there, but they don't want their kid going to Wagner or Judson. You know what I mean? They want them to go to Veterans. So right there, that tells me the answer. Took 2.5 seconds. We're just going to go pop that in. Man, my screen's too small for all this stuff. All right, so elementary school. I usually click this. Type in Franz Elementary. Ed Franz and Franz. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. Then go to Kitty Hawk. Thank you very much. And they will go to that. Oops, I'm going to look it up. By the way, guys, it's easier to look it up because it'll make sure you're spelling it correctly. Whatever the proper abbreviations are, you'd be surprised how often I mess that up. So, and I'll show you, you were right, Joey. I'm going to show you where I would put that in there because you're going to say verify schools measurements, and I'll show you where you do that. Construction. Is this a new home or pre-owned? Right? Builder's name, unknown, guys. I don't know who built the house. And it doesn't say it in the BCAT either. You probably could figure it out if you went down to the district, but nobody cares that much. Neighborhood amenities. There are, so I just want to look through these with y'all. How do I make this go away? There's too much on this screen. Okay. Controlled access, is it gated? Is there waterfront? Is there a pool? Is there tennis? Is there golf course, clubhouse, park, jogging trails? Guys, there's nothing like that out there. This is just regular. So I'm going to click none. It's just a regular old street neighborhood. Is it an accessible and adaptive home? Ladies and gentlemen, you need to make dang sure that you put that in there. If it is an accessible home, if they tell you, oh yeah, it's accessible, you need to have that verified, guys. You need to verify whether or not that is accessible, because that is a big no-no, okay? The hallways have to be a certain width. You have to have, I think it's 2 entrances that are available by ramp. Light switches have to be lowered, things like that. Just pay attention to it. Miscellaneous, latent defect. Is there something like the foundation is jacked? There's a hole in the roof, something big. Floodplain, that's an interesting one. So you can, I know this one's not, but I'm going to show you how to look this up. I actually have it. No. Yeah, here we go. You're going to want to go to FEMA, guys. I just Googled something that I knew would come up, pull it up. You can go to any.gov or FEMA. FEMA is the one who actually determines whether or not you're in the flood zone. Oh no, this is some crap website. Hold on. They're going to try and sell me insurance.
Do you think maybe at a future one we could talk about, say you have a client that has property that's in, floodplain, and how they could potentially contest what FEMA says because they feel like some of the product, some of it's out, stuff like that?
Well, I've never known anybody to contest it, and I can't imagine that you would win.
See, and that's what I'm trying to advise the client, trying to sit here but okay. Yeah,
there are people that literally, that is their job, is to run around, calculate the cubic feet per second of rainwater water, and blah, 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 and they determine it. I can't, I'm not saying it's not possible. I wouldn't do it. By the way, guys, this is the correct map that I was looking for a minute ago, msc.fema.gov. This is the one I was looking for. That other one was probably punch it in and they're going to try and sell you insurance. But if you notice, this is the actual FEMA website. And if y'all hear snoring in the background, my dog is on the floor behind me. I have a 175-pound Great Dane, and he snores like a lumberjack. So right there, all I did was punch in the address, guys. And as you can see, there's little flood zones right here. See how it's a little discolored? See how it's a little discolored here? But where I'm at, I'm good, okay? And just to verify, it'll even tell you that somewhere on this page, it says that you're not in a flood zone. But without base, flood elevation, regulatory, you can see what all these different colors mean. If you zoom out, you can see parts of San Antonio that will be. See these lines? If you're inside the lines, you need to double and triple check what's going on here. This house, not inside any line anywhere. Most of the time, I know you think, oh, it's in the middle of the city. There's no way it's in a flood zone. Guys, flood zones can be just low water crossings. They can be all kinds of different things. So just take a hot second and look it up. It's not going to kill you. Okay. So back to my listing. So it's not in the floodplain. Lender owned, corporate owned. Lender owned is if you might also hear the term REO, real estate owned. The bank owns it. It's a corporation own it. So it is corporate owned technically. Company relocation, that you will know somebody's like, I'm getting relocated, and they'll pay for me to move, or they'll pay the difference. That's when you put that there. Estate sale or probate, somebody died. If it's an estate sale or probate, you need to put this because you're not obligated to have a seller's disclosure on it. Okay, so you need to put that so they understand why. Commercial potential, MUD, that's a managed utility district, tends to be places out in the country. Is the city bus available? I know you're thinking yes. I'm not going to check it though, because I don't want somebody that really needs a bus to be looking at it. I'd rather them figure it out. And so on and so forth. Investor potential is always a good one. As is, if they're not willing to make any repairs, whatever. So it is corporate owned. That's fine. Green certificates. Again, guys, if you're not familiar with this, if you're talking to somebody, they will tell you that this house is Energy Star certified. Very few people in Texas do this kind of stuff. You know, if you're out in California where they're a little bit more concerned, yes, maybe. But if I had to guess, or build San Antonio green, you know, those are designations that you can have. I don't know if he has any. I'm sure he'll correct me if I missed anything. Any green features? Do you have a solar electric, solar hot water, right? Now, walking around, I noticed that none of that was on here. So was there solar panels on it, right? The more things that you can put, the better. Energy efficiency. I'll have to ask him about the SEER of his air conditioner. That's how efficient your air conditioner is. I know he put in a new one. I'm not going to do it just yet. 12 plus inches of Addison insulation, double paned windows. Yes, I know that because I saw him. He replaced all of the windows. And then probably low E windows. He does have ceiling fans. All right. So you want to try and make this thing as sexy as possible, guys. You just got to take a minute to go through it. It's not that the end of the world. All right, exterior of the home. It is a one-story. It's not a split level. Contemporary, colonial, troubadour, Spanish, ranch, historic, older, traditional. So to help figure that out, guys, I'm not going to go through all of them because I'm going to bore you all to death. But most of the time, a house that is a single story with a single pitched roof, see how it just comes to one pitch? They're going to call that a ranch style home. So I'm going to put that as a ranch, maybe even traditional, okay? Get familiar with these. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Exterior of the house. Anybody want to know what the exterior is? What do y'all think this exterior is? Brick. And because I was there, there was also asbestos siding on the back of the house. Okay. No wood. The rest of it was brick, vinyl. Okay. Asbestos siding, if y'all have never seen it, how do you spell asbestos? Asbestos siding. There we go. Don't laugh, Joey. I'm a terrible speller. And that's not it. This is asbestos siding, guys. It looks like a tile, but it usually has these lines in it. It's very popular in San Antonio. I know when you say asbestos, it sounds like it's super dangerous. The reason why people did asbestos is because it's very, very well insulated and it's very flame retardant. It's only dangerous if you start taking it off. So if you take it off, you need a professional to do it. What is the roof? Anybody?
Shingles.
What would you think the roof would be? It's a tricky
Composition.
one. Composition shingle. Okay, that's another word for that. Heavy composition, you will know the minute you walk up to the house that shingles look like they're about a ½ inch thick. But other than that, it's just a regular old composition roof. That's what that's called. I know it's kind of a weird one. That's why I asked. Foundation, it is a slab foundation. Cedar post, pier and beam. Does it have a basement? Probably not. Garage parking. Anybody remember what that one looked like? Oops. What was that? How many car garage is that? 2. Any additional parking? Circular drive, not really. It's kind of a semicircle, street parking, bus, blah, blah, blah. No, none of that. Does it have a pool? No. Does it have a spa? No. Exterior features. Patio slab, covered patio. It did have that in the back. Chain link fence on sides of it and a privacy fence on one side of it. Did have double paned windows. I know it asked that twice, guys, but again, I want this thing to look as good as it possibly. Ooh, gutters. Did it have gutters? I don't think it did. Yeah, no gutters. Dog run, wire fence, stone masonry. Okay. Lot size, again, that pulled from the MLS earlier. Lot description, it is on a corner. It's not on a golf course. And it was 0.23 acres, if you remember, so I'm going to put that one in there. You all know what zero lot line is, by the way, guys? Zero lot line, a lot of the garden homes are built like that. So where the line actually divides the property, a lot of places, a lot of neighborhoods have a setback Like you cannot build on the line. You can put a fence there, but you can't put your house. A zero lot line, they say you can put your house right on that line. So you'll see a lot of people that have that. Yeah, it's some Joey made a face at that. Not everybody likes it. Some people don't mind. Usually, I feel like that's kind of like retirement communities. They have that because they don't want to mow.
I like elbow room, thank you.
Yeah. You think we could hunt in the city, right? Secluded, gently rolling. Is it on a lake, river? Okay, that's probably good. Lot dimensions, I don't have that. I can get the lot dimensions by going back to my Bexar County Appraisal District and looking at the land. It tells me right there, it is 85 by 118. Everybody see that? The effective front, the effective depth. So what did I say? 85 by 118. 85 foot by 118 foot. A lot of improvements. It does have a paved street. It does have curbs. I don't remember if it has gutters. There's no street lights, alley. I can't remember where the fire hydrant is. It's on a city street. All right, next. The interior of the house. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. There were, in my opinion, 2 living areas. So I'm going to put that in there. What constitutes a living area? That's kind of for your interpretation. I'll show you what I mean when we dig through the pictures, but it was definitely 2 separate areas. It did not have a separate dining room. Did not really have, oh, it did have an eating kitchen actually. Is there 2 eating areas? Is there an island kitchen? There's probably a breakfast bar. There's not an island. I don't think it was a walk-in pantry. No study or office.
When it says 2 eating areas, can a bar, like countertop, count as an eating area if it, it allows the bar stools and stuff?
That's what I would consider an eat-in kitchen if that bar is shared in the kitchen, in my opinion. Okay, this is a little up for grabs. The whole thing is you want to make it sound as sexy as you can, but you don't want to piss off other realtors. If they drag somebody all the way out there and you kind of flub that, they're going to be a little bit mad. Utility room was inside. I definitely would say it had an open floor plan. Cable TVs available. You can get high-speed internet out there. All bedrooms are downstairs. Laundry's in the main level. Did have walk-in closets. I didn't go in the attic, so I'm not going to put any of that stuff. Did have pull down stairs though. Radiant barrier, guys, decking. If there's anything cool in the attic, some people really want energy efficient homes. That's where it'll go. I don't know if there's an attic fan. Inclusions. So if you remember, when you go to sell a property, if there's stuff already in the house that's gonna stay in the house, you need to say that. Okay. The ceiling fans are staying. Okay. Yes, it has a washer and dryer connection. It does not have a washer and dryer though. Oh, cooktop and oven. Let's go look at that. I can't remember what the kitchen looked like. So right there, guys, pictures are helpful. See the cooktop? It's an electric with an oven. Okay. So it does have a cooktop with an oven. Oops. Sorry, that's different. You're going to want the stove and range. The cooktop is when it's kind of built into the bar. And then a built-in oven is going to be something that's not easily removed. That one comes right out. It did have a disposal. And it did have a dishwasher as well. Let's make sure I can confirm that. I think I remember seeing it. There it is. Okay. No ice maker, no wet bar, vent fan, intercom, smoke alarms. Yep. There's supposed to be a smoke alarm, just for y'all's edification, in every bedroom within 8 feet of the door, or at least 8 feet from the door, and in the hallways. Doesn't need to be in the living room, doesn't need to be in the kitchen, needs to be in the bedrooms and the hallways. It had an electric water heater, pretty sure. Downdraft, guys. So in this kitchen, the vent fan, when you turn the fan on, this one's in the microwave. A downdraft is kind of an older school thing. You'll see sometimes, I have one in my house where it sucks the air down. pulls it through the concrete. A lot of questions about that. Solid countertops, no. This has butcher board, which is actually really cool, but it's not a solid. You're looking for granite. No double ovens. Propane water heater. It does have city garbage service, and we're good. Floors. Let's take a look. What's the floors made out of? Okay. If I remember correctly, that is a laminate tile, and it's just about throughout the entire house, but I think the bedrooms are carpeted. Yep. So as you can see, carpet in the bedrooms, ceramic tile in the bathrooms, and a laminate throughout the rest of it. So you'd put in all of them, carpeting, ceramic, laminate. Anybody even know the difference between laminate and vinyl? Laminate flooring, you'll see, is kind of that, it usually comes in those rectangular shapes and they click together and it's kind of a compressed wood with a plastic coating. That's a laminate floor. It's a little bit thicker. You can hear it. And if you drop something on it, it sounds different. Vinyl tends to be very thick plastic kind of stuff. Sometimes they stick down usually. No stained concrete, stone cover. Fireplaces, none. Window coverings. Window coverings, guys, are blinds, mini blinds, shutters, the little cloth, what do they call them? I can't think what they're called. That go over the top. All remain, some remain, or none remain. Say it again.
Balances?
Balances, thank you. Do those stay or not? Because you're probably going to leave them up in the house. Most people will not want to take all those down, whatever. This is just saying if they're in there, are they staying? Okay, I'm just going to say all remain because there are no blinds in there. But if there is one that I missed, yeah, I don't think Eric's going to want to go take it out. Bedrooms. Now, I'm going to go to my little room scan app so I make sure I didn't mess this up. I'm going to look it up. The cool thing, I don't know, can y'all see this real quick? Can y'all see my picture? I don't know if it's trying to use the background. Can y'all see that? Every single room I scanned, it saves in my phone for me, so I don't have to think about it twice. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to look in here. Master bedroom, second bedroom, third bedroom. So it's a 3-bedroom, and then I counted 2 baths. It is a 3-bedroom. The master bedroom. Oddly enough, it is a split master. I'll show you pictures in a minute. It's downstairs. Didn't have outside access, had a single closet, had plenty of sitting room, had a walk-in closet, had a ceiling fan, has a full bath. Okay, master bedroom closet size. I knew it was going to ask me that, so I checked that out. My master closet is 7.5 feet by 6 feet. It won't let you 7.5 times 6. Bathrooms. Bathroom closet level, it's on the first level. I don't know why it does that. There's 2 full baths, 0 half bath. The master, let's go look. That was the second bath. So this is all the master stuff. So I thought it was just a walk-in shower. Oh, it looks slick. It's cool, isn't it? So this is a walk-in shower, right? Shower only. And it was also a single vanity, which you want to find a better picture to confirm that. Just a single vanity. This is why you're going to want to write all this stuff down, guys, because if you don't have it, I mean, luckily I had the pictures, and like I said, I've only been through it once. No garden tub. All right, cool. So the things that are mandatory are here. I tried to get as much as I possibly could. So some people say I need to have a, let's see, the kitchen is 22.5 by 8. 22.5, oops, by 8. And this is in feet, guys, not inches or meters or whatever. So the entry room size, which I called the front room, is 14.5 by 19. Oops. sorry, I'm going back and forth with my phone. The living room, which I'd consider the back room because it's 2 living areas, is 15 by 21 and a half. Study, office, kitchen, the master bedroom. So this is kind of weird. Hold on, I'm gonna see if y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Can y'all see my phone again? Let's see if I can get it to where it's not doing that. Y'all see how that master bedroom is shaped? Y'all can't really see it.
No, it's just a white screen at this point.
There we go. Can y'all see that?
Yes,
So
kind
it's
of.
kind of like L-shaped, right? I'm going to take the widest part of it. So the widest part was 16 foot. The longest part was 28. I don't know if that's 180% correct, but I want this master bedroom. It is a large master bedroom, and I want it to seem large. The master bedroom side, master bath, oops. 7.5 by 5. The second bedroom is 13 by 11. Bedroom 3 was 9.5 by 11. And I got all the ones with the red stars next to it. Air conditioning, 1 central. Heating, central. Not window units, there's only 1 unit. Heating fuel was electric. Water and sewer is the city. Okay, if you live in San Antonio, you're using city public services and saws. Notice you don't have to put in the electric supplier. You can. Here in San Antonio, everybody knows you're using saws and you're using CPS, so it's not really that thing. Are we taxed by multiple counties? No. Tax year, see, look, it already filled that in with me. And is there an HOA out here? No, there is not an HOA. If you have an HOA, guys, you've got more paperwork to fill out. And it's going to tell me, if you push it, it'll tell you. Contract, I have the exclusive right to sell. Does anybody know the difference between exclusive right to sell and exclusive agency? Ooh, that's a tricky one. Let me just put it this way. You want the exclusive right to sell. I am the only person.
Exclusive right to sell means you don't have to compete with anybody.
Wait, yeah, exactly. You're not gonna have to compete with anybody on the sell side. Agency means, yes, I work with him, but he may have multiple agents. So I have an exclusive agency. There's nobody between me and him, but the exclusive right to sell is what I have with this property. Listing date, we're gonna do today. Expiration date. Ooh, we talked about this a little bit in the video I just put up the other day. Let's say Eric says, you got 6 months to sell my house or I'm finding another realtor. Okay. When you fill out that exclusive right to sell form, you will have an expiration date. You need to put that correct date in here. Now, as for me, I want to put something kind of far out, but this house will sell pretty quickly. Proposed terms. And this is what I wanted to talk about with our thing today. Conventional loan is a bank loan. You go to the bank. FHA or VA are 2 different kinds of government-backed loans. The reason why these both qualify is because the house is in good condition. Okay, there's not going to be anything that comes back on the inspection that will disqualify it, and we'll talk more about that in another one. First seller carry. Is Eric willing to own or finance it? No, he's not. He wants to sell it. Is he willing to do a second seller carry? Let's say the house, he's trying to sell it, like the price was $239. Let's say he's trying to sell it for $400, but he knows it won't appraise for $400 for whatever reason. Are you willing to carry the difference from what the bank will loan and that? That shouldn't be a problem, so I'm not worried about that. Seller required qualify. I mean, obviously that's going to happen. Lease option. Lease with an option to buy is a lot of what people will call rent to own sometimes erroneously. It's not correct, meaning I will let you lease this house for a year and I will agree on a price that is good for 1 year. He doesn't want to do that. Buy down, we're buying down the rest of the loan. Are we going to wrap it? Dangerous, don't do that. Texas vet. I'd have to go look up to see if this one qualifies, but I doubt it. That's usually ones that have a lot of land with it. I'm sure Eric would take cash for it. Trade, you want to trade houses? That's weird. 100% financing. You would put that if he's willing to own or finance it with 0 down. That's the only time I can think that you would ever want to do that. Unless it qualifies for USDA loans as well. USDA loans are 100% financing. Those tend to be rurals. It's just a sexy way to market it, really. VA substitution, no, because he's not a VA. Sometimes you can switch. If it's on a VA loan, you can switch out the loan. It's not. Release required, fine. Investors, okay, you can click yes, but they're looking for fixer-uppers. Assumption with qualifying, assumption non-qualifying. Very few loans are assumable now. VA used to do it back in the day, but they don't really do that much anymore. Meaning, and the owner would know if it was assumable, meaning, hey, look, you just take over my loan. We're just going to put your name on it. If we leave my name on it and I sell it to you, that's called a wrap. If I put your name on the loan paperwork, that's an assumption. USDA is that 100% financing. This one probably won't qualify. You can go to the USD website and look it up. I'm not going to drag you through that. It's got to be rural, guys. It's got to be rural. Rural. Okay. Possession. When can the person move in? Can you move in before closing? He's not going to let that happen. Closing and funding. Once we've signed all the documents and the money's changed hands, you cannot move in until a specific date. Like, yes, I don't care if you buy it now, you're not moving in until November 15th. Okay, whatever. Current lease agreement. Is it under a current lease, like somebody's living in there? You need to do that. The tenants will vacate, negotiable, whatever. Closing and funding is the most frequent. Phone number to show, just because I know it, it's 210-222-2227, because I'm going to be putting this in showing time, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. Showing contact is showing time. So the difference in these guys, since it's vacant, I'm going to call this a go and show. Whenever you're ready, just go over there and look at it. I don't care. As long as a realtor's with them, they can go at any time. Sometimes only the owner wants to show it. You need to put that in there. The office, you need to call the white line office. No. Agent, you need to go with me. This agent one is if you were showing like a super high dollar house. If you're showing like a $5 million property, you may want to be there every single time. Because you're not going to have a lot of showings anyways. Lockbox type. Did you buy one of the Supras? Did you buy a Supra from Four Rivers? Is it on a combo? Which it is, other or none. Occupancy, vacant. By the way, tenant, owner, other, home tender. Is there some lady that's living there just making sure the house doesn't burn down? Currently being leased, no. Owner, leggings, mark. That was not correct. So we're going to go back here, and all I do is copy and paste. Remember we said it was corporate owned? Oops. Sub-agent commission. It's got, okay, so a sub-agent, God, I don't want to get into sub-agent because I'm not sure I understand it a lot. But a sub-agent is somebody that's working under the cell of another person. I always put 0 here because I want to deal with the actual realtor that's coming into this. I don't want some guy that's kind of, I don't want to mess with that. So it's always 0 for that. And on this one, the buyer agent commission. So whoever brings the buyer, this is 3%. Make sure that that is 100% correct because that is a contractual obligation. If you accidentally type in a 4, you will pay them 4% commission at closing. Okay? Be very careful about that. Check here of a variable rate commission. Well, if you sell it for this much, we'll give you 4%. No, what about that? A bonus. Hey guys, if you sell this house, I'll give you 3% plus $2,000. I'll give you 3% plus whatever. Is the owner a licensed real estate agent or licensed real estate broker? Yep. Now, this is weird because technically an LLC owns this. However, the owner of the LLC is a licensed real estate broker. So yes, you need to put that in there. Disclose, disclose, disclose. I know that Eric likes to use Ryan Hopkins, and I like to use him too. So I know his address. I like to use Ryan and Maria at 5 Star Title in Seguin. I know it sounds weird that I have a house. What is going on? Hello. What in the world? I can't hear you, Joey. Is my computer freezing up on me?
Up at the top, it says, okay, you typed an invalid T
Oh.
for state. I think you just click okay and then you can go back.
Sorry, I couldn't see it because y'all's pictures are. Thank you. I've got so many little screens that when you do the Zoom calls, it kills me. Thank you for helping me. I want to say the numbers. So I know it seems weird that they are in Seguin. Pretty sure that's right. I'm gonna check real quick. R. Hopkins at 5startitle.net. I put 5 start. I did. Okay. Potential short sell. Is this going to sell for less than the person owes on it? If you have a short sale, you need to go talk to that person's bank and see if it is an option. That's usually somebody in foreclosure, some sort of duress, some sort of something. This is not a potential short sale. A short sale is when you sell it for less than is owed on the bank. Or less than the bank owes on it. Agent confidential remarks. This is what shows up on the agent's page. So please verify room sizes and schools. That's where you put that. Okay. Public remarks. This is what I was talking about. Y'all want to help me out on this one?
I want to see you shine.
Huh?
I said, I want to see you shine.
I can't spell. I can't even think right now. I'm not in the mood to do this. Normally I have my wife or somebody come help me with this.
Is this where you would put like just a description about the home?
This is where it needs to be the sexiest thing you can possibly think of, right?
Yeah, like you're working them up in this, right?
Yeah. So like if you go to like realtor.com, this is what you want. And it's all the same crap. I'm just not real good at this. So if I go to this one right here, I'm just looking at a random house that showed up on realtor.com.
So this is where you would put like what you see, like this beautifully
remodeled
home
floor plan. Yeah,
will go quick. All that kind of snazzy stuff, right?
Is ready for your family. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean? This is where the frou-frou stuff comes in. And I need to take a minute and really look at that, and I'm not going to sit here and do it unless y'all see something about that house that y'all just love. Okay, so display listing on the internet. Yes. Does it need to go to Zillow or whatever? You can stop that if you want. Display address on the internet. That's interesting. Why would you not want to do that?
A lot of ranch properties don't do that.
A lot of ranch properties won't do that because they know if it's vacant, they don't want people wandering around on their land. Okay. A lot of very high-end properties don't want their address posted. There was one across the street from me that was for $13 million. Okay. I wouldn't want people coming over there going, "Oh, look how pretty that is." And if it's vacant and it's a $13 million home, you're just inviting criminals, right? Next thing, is there a virtual tour? Notice when I click on that, guys, y'all see what pops up right here? Listingbooster.com/virtual tour. So Eric did not make a virtual tour. If you Google virtual tour, there's a million places that'll do it. Listing Booster will do it for free. So done, okay? Number one. And sometimes I'll have like Matterports too that are really slick. This is a different kind of photographer that will provide these. If you're on YouTube, you can put a YouTube. So I kind of just want to show y'all this real quick. So I don't even know what house this is that I had in there at one point. I want to show y'all the difference. Oh yeah, okay, so this is one of my super duper high-end properties, right? This thing sold for $750,000. So I hired a professional videographer and he sent me this, and I'm considering this the virtual tour, drone footage, because it's on a golf course, right? You want to pay for these extra things. If I'm going to be making 25 grand, I'm okay with spending the money. So a virtual tour is just basically a video. What's some of the other ones that are in here?
Can you find someone who does that on that app you were talking about, the Thumbtack app?
Mm-hmm. Also get referrals. That guy. Oh, see, that one's not in there anymore. That guy was a referral from Cameron, actually, and he did a fantastic job. So I don't have a virtual tour yet. Once I do this, once I hit save, it's going to go in to the listing booster, and it will automatically take all of my videos or my pictures and make it into a virtual tour. Are any of the property photos virtually staged? Just to answer honestly, guys, nobody really cares. What is virtual staging? There's no furniture in there, but you send it to a Photoshop guy that puts a couch and puts all this cute stuff in there. You need to tell them if it is staged or not. And then manage photos. So now, guys, let's look at this real quick. This primary photo must be entered within 72 hours of the list date to avoid notification and a fine. If you don't put a picture on here, they will fine you. Don't say, oh, I'll do it later. Do it now. You can save it as a draft if you don't have your photos yet. Don't do that, guys. I almost got fined one time because I hit save and continue instead of save as a draft, and it posted it. And they're like, you better put a photo up. Okay, you must indicate if they are virtually staged. I don't know why it's such a big deal, but whatever. And a minimum of 4 photos. Okay, so you got to put at least 4. The max you can put is 25. So we're going to select images in just a minute. I need some input from you guys. Would y'all mind helping me out? So when you get photos, as you can see, these 3 photos are all of the front elevation. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now, for my personal idea here, guys, this is my favorite. It shows the blue door well. The grass looks good. So you can see all this dirt over here. And the other thing I don't like is that I can tell how dinged up that garage door is. So remember, this is probably going to be your first photo. See how much better the grass looks? You can't really see the dirt over here, right? So what I'm going to do is I got to move y'all again. Move you to this side. I'm going to download this picture. All right, so that's my first one. Now let's look at these couple of the back. So one, guys, come on. There's 2 pictures of the back. Which one do you think you should put?
That one, the other one.
This one right here,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to download that one. So I kind of like this shot because it shows that it's an open floor plan. Now, do you have to put 25 photos? No. I mean, I usually just take the best ones. I think that's a cool one. Let's see if there's one that's at a better angle. See, I don't like that angle at all, right?
Is
Am I
the
crazy?
flooring a different color in the kitchen? I can't tell from the photos, but it kind of looks like it, huh?
It might be.
It does look like it.
So I like that photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. See, I don't know how crazy I am about this particular photo, right? It just makes it look small. So use your best judgment. Photographers just kind of go through and do whatever they can do. This to me is a really cool photo, right?
Yeah, shows the butcher block good.
It shows the butcher block, exactly. It shows the backsplash. It shows how clean and, you know what I mean? Not crazy.
That looks long. It looks big in that picture.
All right.
I think that would be a good way to show that built-in in the corner there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea without having that other photo that was just kind of made it look small.
I like that one because I didn't notice the beams until that actual picture on the roof, on the ceiling, and the recessed lighting.
I wish you would have colored those beams. Give me a hard time about that. So this is the master. I might come back to that one. It makes it look kind of small. We'll see how many.
Is that like a little foyer area or like the
Yeah,
entrance?
so there's like this, and then there's a little back room back here. Right? Like that's what I was saying. It was kind of a split master.
Oh, there it is. Okay, that's cute.
Yeah, he opened this thing up. It's huge. It's cool. Mm, see this kind of stuff, guys? Don't put that in there. That's some Ricky Rodeo stuff right there. Sorry, that's my
You
wife's.
can actually see the photographer in that photo.
Can you?
In the
Yeah,
glass.
but there's no other master photo that I really like. See, that's the secondary bath. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Eh. By the way, quick tip, guys, always make sure the toilet's closed. I screw that up every time.
So what happens if you send a photographer? Well, I guess you're there with them.
You can be.
So like if you were to send a photographer, say there were people in the house prior to the photographer coming and you scheduled them to come and you trust them to be there. And then like what you just said, like he takes pictures and there's, you know, the paper is laying everywhere, the toilets are up. Do you tell them to go back and redo it?
I would, absolutely. Like if they just look like hell, yeah, I'm not afraid to do that. But what you might want to do is your first couple times go with them until you get to know the guy. Like, I had a guy that shot all my real estate photography, and he died very tragically, but he was phenomenal. Like he shot my house, and then I used him for, because like he walked around and he was like turning the plant so it looked just right. And he brought in all these huge, like those umbrella lights and stuff, so the lighting was. I mean, the guy went above and beyond. So after that, I was like, dude, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? He knew exactly how to make it look amazing. So like I said, when you're interviewing them, ask them if they have any experience doing it. You know, if they've never done it before, then you don't need to be helping them with that. You know what I mean? Just unless they don't know.
Is there a specific type of for like the wide shots? I'm not a photographer, but so my sister is actually a professional photographer. She's going to do my stuff, but she's never done real estate photography. And she was saying that there's something really specific camera wise that they use for those shots. What do you know what that is?
Yeah, I'm actually a semi-professional photographer. I've shot a couple of weddings and different stuff like that. And it is very different. I can shoot real estate photos. Mine do not come out as well as other people, so I allow other people to do it.
Yeah.
I'm much better at the candid kind of stuff. I did a lot of concerts, I did a lot of weddings, things like that. But I can't shoot a portrait to save my life. I think everybody looks ridiculous when I shoot a portrait of them. So what they do a lot of times is they will fisheye it to try and get into the big rooms. You have to be very careful with when, where, and why you would use that idea, because when you fisheye anything, it distorts it coming at you. Okay, so you don't want it. It could look very, very funny. They also just have very wide angle lenses where you might have like a 15 millimeter lens where it just gets in everything, which is more of what you want. You want to get a very, very low millimeter lens, something that will get it open as much as you can. Get it as wide as you possibly can. Those are those, you ever seen when they're lenses that look almost bigger than the camera. They're real wide lenses. All right, so we're going to click here to select images, and here are my images. Open those up, and it just populates them. So you need to click if they're virtually staged. See that? You got to click if they're virtually staged, and then I'm going to put in the title, exterior front. Everybody see what I'm doing? Exterior back. I also like to kind of go through these things in order of the way you would kind of see them as you walk through the house. It kind of helps people understand the layout, because if they can see one thing, so this is coming right in the front door, obviously. If they can see one thing and know that it leads to a second, so I would probably, and all you got to do is just drag them into place. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So now your brain can kind of make sense of these two. If you jump all the way around, people will get turned off from that because they can't figure out what's happening. I'll probably put this one in here next. I'm probably walking into the kitchen. And by the way, guys, Eric used to beat this into my head when we first started doing real estate investing together. What sells? Kitchens and bathrooms, right? So that's, if you notice, I have a couple pictures of the kitchen in here. People want to ask you.
Did you hear him, Kimberly? I do go by Kim or Kimberly. I don't want to call you the wrong name.
Oh, Kimberly.
I missed part of what you said, what sells kitchens and I'm
And
assuming
bathrooms.
bathrooms.
Kitchens
Yeah.
and bathrooms. So next, I'm gonna put the master in here, in the master bath.
It's funny because the first thing I always look at when I look at a listing is I look at the yard.
Oh,
which
really?
is random, but yeah.
So as you can see, I just put the titles of whatever it is. So this one I feel like kind of shows the eat-in kitchen because you can see where it's eating there. First living area. You know, I don't, if y'all noticed, I have not, I mean, I probably should. I don't know. It's just kind of my personal preference. I don't usually put a lot of pictures of the bedrooms unless there's just something exquisite about the bedroom. Because a lot of times it's just four walls and a window. You know what I mean? And it just looks really barren. I just don't really.
Is that more because a lot of, I mean, is it for a home that is just an empty home? It's a vacant home?
Exactly. If I had them virtually staged, then I would definitely do it because they usually come out really good.
Do you ever do that, virtual stage?
Yeah.
Do you virtually stage on homes that actually have occupants?
No, it's hard. You can. It's going to cost you a lot of money because I got to Photoshop stuff out and then Photoshop stuff back in. Does that make sense? If it's an ugly house. If the house is staged and it looks good, like that one I just showed you the YouTube video of, they have a professional designer come in and do all their stuff, and I just like leave it. They're like, "Do I need to change anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm not that good. You just do what you got to do." Bathroom. Am I missing this? Okay. So master bath, exterior back. Okay. So then you just want to save your changes here. Rules and hints. By the way, it says, see how it says, please wait while your photos are being processed, right? They're putting a little copyright thing on there and all that stuff. All right, save and continue. Uh-oh, he got mad at me. Colin screwed up. Imagine
It's
that.
the virtual staging. You didn't click no on it.
Oh, thank you. But notice, see how I took my interior and put it in red? Let's go find out what I screwed up there. By the way, guys, it'll let you post it sometimes. Oh, I forgot you can't do decimals. So I'm just going to round everything up. Because you're supposed to round up to half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. All right, so when we're ready to go, you can assign a listing number, and that when it goes active, but I'm not ready to go yet. So I'm going to go back. The reason why is I wanted to show you the documents. Guys, right here, if you want to make your life a lot easier, you need to put your documents in here. Just out of curiosity, what document, I know I brought up one. What documents do you think I should put in here if I have them?
An HOA addendum or that information.
Yep. HOA addendums and the HOA information sheet. Yep. What else?
What was the first one you mentioned?
The lead-based paint addendum.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, the house is old, so I want to put that up before I assign a listing number to it. Okay. What is required with the sale of every property?
A disclosure?
Seller's disclosures, right? So I'm going to put the seller's disclosures up in here. If I have a survey, I'm going to put the survey in here. Any kind of documentation that you can put at the beginning will make your life so much easier. Okay. It draws this process out, sure. But trust me, if you have 15 people putting in contracts, you don't want to have to send every single one of them the seller's disclosures. You just want to say it's in the listing. So all you do here, guys, is just add a document, pull it from wherever it is on your computer, and then you just say what it is. Pet agreement. So pet agreement would be for, I mean, any of these things that you have. There's already an active home warranty that we can do it. A flood certificate, a floor plan. If it's a brand new house, put that in there. Anything you want to put in here, guys. Mold disclosures, seller's disclosures, right? And when you do that, it's going to recommend who can see it. You can obviously change that. I always just leave it to how they recommend it. But I got to put all this stuff in here, and I'm not going to let y'all figure that out. But what I will show you real quick before we go is if you just seller's disclosure Texas, Trek, there it is, right? This is the and then I just download it. Download it, print it out, right? What else do we need? Lead-based paint addendum Texas. Y'all notice I've done this before? Download the form. And Google's already popping it all up. This is exactly how I do it.
You just add them blank?
Yeah, because what I'm gonna, so if I'm gonna have, well, I mean, if you're going to see these people and you know this needs to happen, download them blank, print them out, send them in. What I'm actually gonna do for Eric, since I know where he's at, I'm just gonna go to Texas Real Estate. I'm gonna click on zip forms and I'm gonna zip form them to him, okay? And have them fill them out. Can you fill out a seller's disclosures form?
No.
No, 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 no. Even if they tell you what's in the house. See, I can't do that. I cannot fill out Eric's seller's disclosure form. I can't do it. Huge no-no. So I'm going to send it to him. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt because he's going to have to check yes or no on all these little things. Okay.
Speaking of seller's disclosure forms, well, it's actually my father-in-law's property, but he filled out a seller's disclosure form for me. And then I had somebody come look at the roof and they needed just some like minor repairs. And then he asked me, he said, hey, can I go ahead and just fill out a different seller's, this was before it had been listed. I want to fill out a different seller's disclosure form because now that the roof is actually repaired, I'd rather redo the form. Is that okay? I mean, that's okay to do.
Absolutely.
As long as,
yeah.
Okay.
If anything changes. So this is the Trek seller's disclosure form. Okay. Down here at the bottom of this one, I don't remember where it is. Right here. See this one? Previous roof or structural repair. You'll see that?
Okay. Yeah.
Now this is the Trek one. So if you say yes, roof repair, what is it? Additional sheets if necessary. There were some minor repairs done to the roof. It's now passed a roofing inspection by ABC Roofing. Okay. Say who did it. Don't say, well, my grandpappy got up there and looked at it and it looked fine. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
But so is there any previous structural repair? Now, see, this is why I need Eric to fill this out. I don't know if he put a new roof on it. Roof repair. Yes. New roof added on whatever, right? I don't know what he did to this house. I wasn't there. So it's like, that's why he's got to fill this out. I can't do it. And as you can see, guys, this is the one that I downloaded is one of those ones that's those PDFs where you can write. So that's actually probably why I'm going to mail him this one versus a seller's disclosure. That way he can just get it back to me. So I will say this, Trek has a seller's disclosure form. Another one that I really like is the Sabor seller's disclosure. This is the one I usually use because it has, you got to get it in zip forms in. I usually use this one because it's instead of 3 pages, it's 5 pages. More information is better. Disclose.
Do you, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. When you upload those documents to the MLS, are they completed by your seller by that point in time? Like, you know, they've already filled it out, it's there, it's done, and that you're not uploading any blank documents or anything like that.
Right. So that's how I do it, and that's how I would definitely do it. So what happens when I go to my listing appointment, if you remember, I'm going to take an IABS, I'm going to take a exclusive right to sell, and I'm going to take all of these forms. I'm going to take this form, I'm going to take everything. Okay. and I'm going to walk through the house with them and check it all off. That takes a while, guys. I mean, you're going to be there for 2 hours. Does it have this?
Yeah.
Does it have that? Does it have this? And you're going to go through the whole thing. Then you're going to leave. Well, I always leave them the seller's disclosure form. I said, take your time with this one, because that is the number one reason you'll get dragged into a lawsuit. I did not, they knew that this was there. Like a good example is when I bought my house. Okay. My house has a pool. I'm sitting here noticing that the pool's leaking. Okay. Did the person know that the pool was leaking? Well, my neighbor said, you ready for this? That yes, he did. It was an estate sale. Somebody had died. I bought it from the estate. Yes, he did know, because he sent somebody over to repair it. We saw the repair truck there all the time. I was mad, but there's really not much I can do about it. Why is that?
Well, because he's an estate sale, right? And he
Not
didn't have
required
to
to
really
provide
do
a
the
seller's
seller's
disclosure.
disclosure.
Right? So I kind of took the risk. So, but somebody could throw a fit about that, because if I came out now, granted, it cost me, I don't know, probably $2,000 to fix that leak. It was actually a pretty simple leak, all things considered, but it could have been hell, right? If it was a $10,000 repair, I'd be furious. You know, so have them fill it out, have them be honest. Don't let them fib and tell them. It's like, if you're going to get sued, it's because you're lying on this paper.
Hey, not that it matters, but under exterior, the second one down, vinyl, it's spelled wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if it can be changed. V-I-N-Y-L.
V-Y-N. V-Y-N.
No, V-I.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there you
Look, I'm here for my good looks, not my spelling.
go. We'll just spell check you. You keep doing you, and we'll spell check you.
Yeah, I never take offense to it, ever, because that's me, I get it. So any other questions about putting in a listing? Guys, that's it. I mean, that was as organic as I possibly could have made it.
Now, I know this was long, and I know because you're explaining stuff, but like, does it normally take this long to put something like this together?
If y'all weren't here, I could do it in about 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I explained a lot of things. I would just click, go through it. But the reason why I'm so thorough, though, is because, like I said, you just eliminate so much work if you do it now as opposed to on the back end. So much work.
Is CTX MLS, is it similar in nature?
Well, sort
Because
of.
I where I'm at, I'm gonna have to do both.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do one of these with Central Texas here, but it's a little bit different. Plus, they just changed it, so I'm gonna have to redo it anyways.
Okay. Because I feel like whenever several of the properties that I've, that are in my vicinity, I've noticed that my potential clients are going and they're finding these properties on Realtor, but they're only put into Sabor or, I mean, that some of the agents aren't putting them in both. And so when I'm running reports and I'm doing, trying to sit here and create, stuff, CMA, all that stuff, that I'm running into difficulties because it's been inputted in, it's been in this system, but it's not in this system. So, I mean, as a general rule, do you just put it into one MLS?
I don't. I mean, this particular house right here, because it is in San Antonio proper, I would just put it in Sabor. Now, if I was in Bulverde, okay, I'd put it in both.
Yeah, see, and that's what I'm finding is that a lot of these agents aren't putting it in both, and it's creating a little extra legwork.
But it's if you have both, right?
Yeah.
Would I go pick up Central Texas because I had one listing? Probably not, but I'd want to make sure I found a way to market it, but it's also where you work. I mean, I think it would be foolish of you to only have Sabor. You live in San Antonio, all your houses are in San Antonio. Somebody calls you from El Paso and says, hey, look, can I list in? It's like, well, yeah. I mean, like, I'll show you something real quick, because this is Central Texas MLS, right?
Yeah.
If I go to Central Texas MLS and I just say, look, I didn't change anything. I was like, literally just show me everything that's listed in Central Texas. You got to be kidding me right now. I mean, there's houses in Sugar Land listed in Central Texas. To me, that's a little bit of a, I mean, I don't know the situation. Maybe they have 3 MLSs and they just listed them all in here. But if I live in Seguin and I'm listing houses in Sugar Land, that's just bad. I don't know the Sugar Land area. I have no business doing that. I bet you there's even more even further out. Yeah, look at that, Brownsville. You got to be kidding me, right? That's in Central Texas MLS. Now, do they have multiple MLSs and they just did it? Fine. And did their cousin call them and say, hey, will you list my house for me in El Paso? Like, I have a very good friend of mine who's moving here to town, and she's moving from El Paso, and she said, Colin, I want you to be my realtor. I said, I'd love to. She goes, okay, how can you list my house? I said, I'm not listing your house in El Paso. I said, number one, I'm not going to do a good job. I don't know what it takes to sell in your market. I just don't know the El Paso market. I've been to El Paso like 10 times, and it's been years, right? Let me call around. And I called and interviewed realtors for her, and then I got a referral fee. She's going to pay me 33%. And I don't have to do anything else other than interview her. I probably spent 2 or 3 hours doing that, finding her the right realtor that I thought would fit well with her, and we're done. So, you know, and if it's on the cusp, see, I have all the MLSs, right? So it doesn't bother me any, but I'm not going to list it out there. But if I like New Braunfels, I would put that in both. Why not?
Yeah.
I had both. But obviously that's 4 Rivers, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Canyon Lakes is
No. So like, and if I showed you, I mean, look how many houses that are probably in San Antonio proper. Yeah, right here. Look, I mean, that is downtown San Antonio. Look at those. So
same
those are in
thing.
Central Texas. Why not? If you had access to it, I would do it, because all it's going to do is up your CEO or your SEO. It's going to up your all that kind of stuff. But don't break your neck over it.
Okay.
Anything else? So I will say this, guys, I am not pushing assign a listing number until I have those documents from Eric. I'm just not going to do it, because I'm going to get phone calls, and then I have to stop what I'm doing, and then not doing it. So I'm going to call Eric right now and be like, hey, look, I sent you some stuff, fill it out, and then it'll be up, ready to go Wednesday by noon, right? So there you go, guys. Hopefully you learned something. It was fun. Any other questions? Nothing?
No, thank you.